Okay, so this first video might be kind of boring because it's baking, and I don't like baking. I only like the decorating part. But you kind of have to bake a cake before you decorate it. Okay, so most of you probably baked a cake, or at least out of a box. I don't really care if you bake it out of the box or not. But you're going to have to do a couple things. First, you have to grease the pan, obviously. And I usually use a plastic bag and put my hand in it, and then just put the Crisco in the pan. And then I don't get Crisco all over because I hate getting Crisco on my hands because you can't get it off. So you do that and then flour it, obviously. So flour it. And then shake it so it gets everywhere and get a lot of flour on there. That's pretty simple and probably most of you know it. But also, if you're going to be baking a lot, I would get pans. I don't know if the square pans come like this, but I have circle pans that the bottom comes out, and then you put it together. So then it's a lot easier. All you have to do when you bake the cake is cut around it, and then you just press it out instead of trying to like shake it out, and sometimes that doesn't work and the cake falls apart. So I really like these pans. They like come apart, and we've had them forever. So I don't know where you can get them, but probably online. Okay, so after you've greased and floured the pans, obviously you're gonna put the cake in the pan. But a lot of times when you're baking cakes, just to bake a cake that doesn't look good, you don't level it out. So the cake doesn't rise all the way to the top right here. So you have to fill it higher than normal. I think they usually tell you like halfway full, but I usually fill it 3/4 of the way full. And then maybe put like some type of pan or something underneath in case it like overflows, which once you've started doing it quite a bit, you'll kind of know how much you need in there and it won't overflow. Like, you'll get the right amount in there. But until then, I'd put like a pan underneath in case the cake overflows. You don't want like to get your oven all messy. And one way to make either your cake mixes or your cake recipes go further, I always, when it calls for eggs, which most of them do, unless you're baking for like people with allergies or something, most cakes call for eggs. So I always separate the egg yolks and the egg whites, even if I'm going to use the egg yolks. And then I beat it in the KitchenAid or whatever mixer you have until it's really frothy and like has peaks. So it's really, I don't know if you can see that, but beat it so it's got peaks. And then you can add everything else to it, and it will make the cake fluff up more. So you don't have to buy as many either cake mixes, or you don't have to double your recipe or triple it or whatever. So that'll make your cakes go further. Okay, so now I've finished filling it and it's halfway. And also, I forgot to mention, you're going to want to make 2. Because obviously you want a filling, most likely. And plus, if you don't do 2, it's just going to be like a squatty little cake that looks weird. So do 2 and fill them both up halfway. And then when you bake it, sometimes they'll rise more in the middle. And if it's doing that, turn your oven down by like 25 degrees. And then it should cook more evenly. And that's about all the tips I've got for baking. But I'll bake these and then I'll show you how to level them. And if they don't rise all the way to the top, it's okay, but it just makes it a whole lot easier to level it, and you'll see why.